Hey everybody, welcome to another comic book review. In this video, I'll be talking about Klaus, The Life and Times of Santa Claus. This is the third volume in Grant Morrison and Dan Mora's Klaus series. This is the hardcover edition. This is kind of what the outside looks like. It's got like a greenish-brown kind of cover. And this gold lettering on the side and the gold-edged pages. So this is another one that, like the previous volume, contains two short stories. The first one is called Klaus and the Crying Snowman, and it deals with this god killer that has killed a lot of the Norse gods, and he comes back and he's planted like these seeds that turn into tree monsters on Earth. And so Klaus and this snowman named Sam that he finds travel back in time to make things right with this god killer, and they try to figure out why he is this way. And you also learn some things about the snowman, why he's a snowman, and why he's helping out Klaus. And he has this backstory where he had a run-in with Klaus, and it's pretty cool the way it's handled. I thought it was well done. Now, as I've said for the past two Klaus reviews that I've done, the pacing is all over the place. There are great ideas presented by Morrison and beautifully translated to the page by Dan Mora. It's just like, because there's so many crazy concepts that are presented here, it's kind of tough to fit them into like such a small like one-shot kind of format. Because I think Grant Morrison comes up with like really weird concepts for most of his stories, and trying to fit them into such a small kind of length of a comic, it's difficult, because, you know, when you have this vast imagination like Morrison does, it can be kind of tough to condense it all down into like a short story. So I do think the pacing is off, but Morrison does his best, and Dan Mora does a great job of translating all these wonderful ideas that Morrison comes up with into really great, visually striking art. And then the second story in this book is called Klaus and the Life and Times of Joe Christmas. Now, this story is all told in widescreen, so every single page in this one is just like giant double-page spreads, widescreen, and it goes in reverse chronological order. It's almost completely, actually it is completely dialogue-free, and it's presented like a holiday calendar. And it tells the story of this character, Joe Christmas, that was adopted by Klaus and kind of became like Santa Claus's right-hand man, and you get to see kind of like all the adventures that he and Klaus went on, and just throughout an entire century, like an entire lifetime of this kid that was raised by Santa Claus. And it's told in like a dialogue-free manner. And honestly, like, it doesn't have like a lot of depth story-wise, but the art here, which is the main focus, is absolutely beautiful. And despite not having any dialogue, and despite not having like a super deep new story, it does present a lot of really cool ideas, mostly through Dan Mora's art. And this is one that's all about just visual storytelling and showing rather than telling. So I actually, this is one of my favorite stories in all of the Klaus books, actually, just because of like the art and the format that it's presented, having like a widescreen format to showcase some truly fantastic artwork. I really, really like the way that this story was done, the way it was formatted. I think it's a lot of fun and a nice change of pace. Um, so there's that. And then, as always with these books, you get some of the cover art in the back that was used for the original run of the series. And then you get kind of like Dan Mora's sketchbook and his character designs, which is always really cool to kind of see like the behind the scenes process, what went into making the book. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Klaus, the Life and Times of Santa Claus. Thank you as always for watching. Look forward to more videos in the future and have a wonderful day.